Hello, welcome to CLSP Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So, kind of had to break my last video into two parts. This is part two, and I'm filming it on 6/24/2025 because you got to put dates on stuff now because that's how fast things are happening. So, this is the part where we kind of go into how things going so far. So, let's take a look at that, shall we? So, Trump. Part two versus Iran. How's it going? Hours after declaring a ceasefire, Trump's declared ceasefire, Israeli airspace is shut down. 4 civilians in Beersheba are killed. Missiles are flying from Iran. Israel is vowing retaliation. Trump is begging Bibi to stop bombing Iran. And Tehran is denying everything like it's an open mic night at the UN. That's where we're at in the last 24 hours, probably less. In case you guys don't believe that Trump is begging Bibi, because there are some of those that just don't believe it unless their almighty leader says it himself. Here are his exact words, and I will actually blow this up so you guys can see it. Effectively, these are two of his posts from last night on Truth Social. I do not have a account with True Social. I was given this by a very reliable source who thinks Trump on True Social is hilarious. I personally think he's going to get us all killed. So first he says Israel is not going to attack Iran. All planes will turn around and head home while doing a friendly plane wave to Iran. Nobody will be hurt. The ceasefire is in effect. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. I just don't do a good impersonation of him. And then he comes out, Israel, do not drop those bombs. If you do, it's a major violation. Bring your pilots home now. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States. So that's where Trump's at. I guess he's kind of yelling into the dark, which is ironic considering that's what I think most of this channel is for me. So, yeah, he's having a bit of a rough time of it. So I'd just like to welcome everyone to what I'm calling the Trump Doctrine. Confuse the world, claim peace, then blame the ashes on everyone else. That's also how he runs his businesses. So that's fun. We've got I guess we got to ask ourselves the question, where did all this go wrong? Well, 17 times U.S. congressional opposition to the American involvement in war has been, codified in a law. Now, I went and looked them up, and these are them. Because what I'm hearing from the right now is like Obama. Yeah, Obama is the Libyan war resolution in 2011, in 2013 the Syrian civil war resolution when he went in with cruise missiles and drones, which is pretty much what Obama did. But as you can see, there have been many other times that the Congress has been like, yo, slow your roll. We can't be all up in the business. And some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. You can see from 1970 to 1976, there were quite a few. So, if you actually look at the math, really since the 70s, most of these are just Congress trying to keep a Republican president from blowing trillions of dollars on nonsense. So yeah, that's a problem. But the one I really want to concentrate on is the war powers resolution that was in 1973. Okay, of all of these, that's the one that actually has the most meat. The rest of these are just like bring our troops home, and then the sitting president didn't, or really not even troops. Some of this was like in Obama's case, he was launching cruise missiles off of Navy ships. Yeah, so that was that. The word power resolution, in 1973 is an interesting one though. It's a federal law intended to check the U.S. president's power to commit the United States to an armed conflict. Now, what's interesting about that is that it needs a consent from Congress. This is a law that's been passed. This is a law on the books. So if you violate this law, you are breaking the law, therefore also committing a crime. And in this case, technically, now we've got a couple things going on here. For one thing, violating the sovereignty and destroying the resources of another country is a war crime. And then now we have our own crime that's at our level, that our country, not international law, none of that stuff, not the Hague, none of that. It's actually U.S. codified law. All right. So basically, by not getting Congress, you're breaking the law. So that's that part. So it provides that the president can send the U.S. armed forces into action abroad with congressional statutory authorization, or in case of a national emergency created by attacks upon the United States, its territories or possessions, or its armed forces. Keep in mind, none of that was happening. Yes, Iran has since launched missiles at Qatar, but that was after the fact. You've got to put this on a timeline, and that's after we dropped what is now being reported as 12 of those MOP weapons, which are those deep penetration giant monster bombs, and then dozens and dozens of cruise missiles from submarines and surface ships and just about anything else that holds a cruise missile. Real quick, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I actually got a few subscribers, and boy, a lot of you liked that last video. So please like the video and share this one part one to anyone that you think would be interested. Really do appreciate it. Also, just a reminder, I'm not monetized by YouTube. So all the donations that get sent to my channel is the only thing that keeps this channel going. So please check out my PayPal at CLSP Politics. All right. It is generally agreed that the commander-in-chief, as the role of president, has the power to repel attacks against the United States and makes the president responsible for leading the armed forces. That's in the Constitution. It's one of the things that the president does. He also has a right to sign or veto any congressional acts, such as a declaration of war that Congress may give. So, like, Congress gets all heated and they're like, "We want to go to war." The president can veto that, and may override any such. And then Congress can come back with a veto-proof majority and override any presidential veto. That's kind of how this works. Additionally, when the president actions or inactions provide aid and comfort to enemies or levy war against the United States, then Congress has the power to impeach and remove, thereby convicting the president of treason. Aid and comfort the enemy. Let that sink in. So I think that by attacking Iran, it gave Iran and Iran, blusters, death to America, death to Israel. It says that stuff all the time. It's been saying it for 45 years. Look around, guys. We're still here. Not to mention they've been sanctioned to death. Their economy is in shambles. The fact that they're able to do what they've done with the drones and send them to Russia is, part and parcel of it. But until we made that move and actually dropped bombs on Iran, we weren't in this. So I have a quote. If I'm president, I will have the war, Russia-Ukraine war, settled in one day. Donald Trump. This guy's a moron. He has absolutely no reason being president, but he is He is our president, which is very, very unfortunate for everyone, including my children and probably their grandchildren. The amount of damage he's doing to this country is insane. But that's who the voters voted for. Lord knows I was pushing against that. And I got within 0.5% of pushing Wisconsin over to blue. So we got close, in Wisconsin at least. But no, I really do think that this is going to be problematic, and the fact that Trump is, who he is, and has absolutely no understanding of how the world actually works outside of maybe a few blocks of New York and some dirt surrounded by swamp in Florida. Uh, and he also knows how to motivate the racists and the neo-Nazi fascists that are, of course, have been part of this country for a very long time. He gets those guys up and running and very motivated. So, I mean, he's got skills, I guess. But in the long run, this is going to be a real problem. And they're all talking about, oh, hey, Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons. Pakistan has nuclear weapons. Russia has nuclear weapons. There are places to get nuclear weapons. Now, Iran hasn't been able to make their own nuclear weapon. But you know what Iran does have? Drones. You know what Russia needs right now is drones. Now, Russia would trade drones for a nuclear weapon. We all know that. And then Russia's like, oh, it wasn't us who dropped that bomb. It gives them a plausible deniability. I mean, think about it. Russia doesn't want anything that causes chaos helps Russia, is aids Russia. And Trump is chaos. So, just like to thank everyone for watching. Like and subscribe. If you wish to support this channel, as I mentioned earlier, I am not monetized by YouTube at all. PayPal, I have an account there at CLSB Politics. You're welcome to contribute, and I will keep up the hard work. And I mean, I'll probably be doing another show next 24 hours because just trying to keep up. All right. Oh, hey. Today is election day in New York. Look, they're using ranked choice for the first time. It's very interesting. I am watching it, and I plan to do a post-mortem on their primary and what their ranked choice actually did. It's very interesting. Looks like it's really down to the top two candidates, but we'll see. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.